Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about something absolutely critical for any nonprofit, church, or mission-driven organization, building a financial shield. We're going to break down step by step how you can protect your finances so you can stay focused on what really matters, your mission. So let me just start by asking you a question. Think about it for a second. All that money you work so hard to raise, is it really safe? How sure are you that every single penny is going exactly where it's supposed to? It's a tough question, right? Because the threats, well, they aren't always obvious. So let's pull back the curtain a little bit on some of the most common and often hidden financial risks that organizations just like yours are up against every day. And look, these aren't just some made-up scenarios. These are the hotspots where things tend to go wrong. We're talking about cash just kind of disappearing from the collection plate, or grant money for one project getting used for something totally different. It can really feel like you're navigating a minefield. Okay, but here's the good news. You do not have to be a sitting duck. There is a powerful, systematic way you can defend your organization against all these risks. It's called internal control, and it's basically your financial shield. So what is this shield actually made of? Well, the most basic building block is something called an internal check. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a buddy system for financial tasks. It's just a simple, built-in step where one person's work automatically gets looked at by someone else. Now, when you start taking all those little individual buddy checks and you combine them with some clear, written-down policies, well, that's when you get the whole system. That's your internal control. It's the entire framework you build to protect your assets and make sure your financial reporting is rock solid. It's the complete shield. So you can see how this all stacks up, right? You've got the individual checks. Those are the building blocks. They all come together to form your internal control system. And then finally, you have audits, which are really just about testing how strong that system, that shield you've built, really is. All right, enough with the theory. Let's get practical and see what this actually looks like. We're going to zero in on 3 of the most important controls you can put in place, like right now, to start building up that shield. First up, let's talk about cash. This is ground zero. Whether it's from donations, offerings, or just the petty cash drawer, cash is your most vulnerable asset, so protecting it has to be your #1 line of defense. And what's so great about this slide is it shows you how simple fixes can make a huge difference. Just look at that first line. The red flag is having one person do everything. The control? Just have a team of 2 or 3 people count together. That simple change makes it so much harder for mistakes, or worse, to happen. Okay, number 2 is all about controlling the money going out. This is about making sure that every single payment is legit, it's properly approved, and it's documented before the money ever leaves your bank account. In this right here perfectly illustrates what people often call the 2-person rule. See that red flag about approvals happening after the payment's already gone out? The control is to set clear rules in advance, like anything over $500 needs 2 signatures. It's a simple policy that makes sure no single person has total control over the checkbook. And for our third critical control, let's talk about how you buy stuff. Smart purchasing isn't just about finding the cheapest price. It's about making sure you're getting fair value from a real, legitimate vendor and that there are no conflicts of interest. So the big takeaway here is pretty clear. A little bit of formal process is your best friend. Instead of just always using the same guy, having a simple rule to get a few quotes ensures you're being a good steward of your funds. And that conflict of interest form, that protects your organization's integrity. It's huge. Okay, so let's say you started putting these controls in place. You're building your shield, but how do you know it's actually working? How can you be sure it's going to hold up under pressure? Well, that is where audits come in. Now, this is something a lot of people get mixed up, so it's worth taking a second here. An internal audit is really for you. It's designed to help you find the weak spots and make your system better. A statutory audit, on the other hand, is for outsiders. It's an independent auditor giving their official opinion on your financial statements. So one helps you improve, the other one reports on how you're doing. And that leads to this really fundamental point, which this quote just nails. An auditor's job is not to build your shield for you. Their job is to test the shield that you've already built. The responsibility for actually creating and maintaining those controls, that falls squarely on your organization's leadership. I know, I get it. This might feel like a lot to take on. But listen, strengthening your shield doesn't have to be this giant, overwhelming project. You can absolutely start small and still make a huge impact. Let's look at how to get started. So, I want to give you a little challenge, a goal. Don't just file this information away. Take some real, concrete action within the next 30 days. That's more than enough time to make a few changes that will immediately make your mission safer. So where do you start? Here are 3 incredibly high-impact things you could do this month. 1. Reconcile your bank account, and then have a second person look it over and sign it. 2. Create a formal count sheet for any cash that comes in. 3. Put that maker-checker or two-person system in place for all your online payments. Honestly, doing just one of these is a massive step in the right direction. So as we wrap this up, the most important thing isn't just understanding all of this, it's acting on it. The financial security of your mission is in your hands. So looking at everything we just talked about, I'll leave you with this question. What's the one thing, just one thing, you can do this week to start building your shield?